You're listening to People Are Animals Too, Darn It, with your host, Mandy Evans, Executive Director of Panhandle Animal Shelter.
Hello and welcome to People Are Animals Too, Darn It. Today we're going to be talking about what it means to be authentic. So you hear that a lot now. It's kind of a catchphrase that you should be authentic. And being authentic is not an excuse to be a jerk, which I think I ran into somebody that thought that was what it meant. Like, you just say what's on your mind. That's being authentic. You just own it. I don't think so. I think that being authentic is recognizing and honoring your feelings and then being able to move beyond them or past them or embrace them because they're your feelings. So here's an example. My team and I, we were out doing some shelter visits. We just wanted to be able to get out of our little bubble and go visit some shelters and see what they were doing. And one particular shelter really hit a chord with us. And when we got in the car, we started talking about how there were things about the visit that were really surprising. And then someone said, well, we can't really talk about this in this way because we're here to help people, so we can recognize that this shelter might need help and that talking about them in a critical way really isn't helping them. And I actually don't agree. So I think that while we're in the car and we have the opportunity, that by talking about it, we're being authentic. We had a reaction to being in that experience. We're going to talk about it. We're not going to wallow in it. We're not going to make that be the judgment call that we have moving forward. We're going to say, you know what? We're honoring that this is how we feel, which allows us to then work through how we can be proactive in helping the situation, if that makes sense. So the other way that I always see this is when pets die. When pets die, people feel ashamed, or they'll say, I'm sorry, but I'm really upset. Why do people have to apologize for a loss in their life? I had an employee whose dad died, and she was devastated and kept apologizing for it. And I told her, embrace it. Like, a huge loss. You've had this person in your life your whole life, and now he's gone. There's absolutely no good in saying that you shouldn't be sad about it. Be sad. Honor it. You're upset. And then by saying that and by honoring it and acknowledging that you're upset, it gives you the power to say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to move through it, or I am not okay. Like, I need some time. But if we just say, everything's fine, then we internalize it and it makes us sick and we're not able to move on with our lives. So being authentic doesn't need to be that you're screaming things from the rooftops. The other one is, I know an individual who has adult temper tantrums, and I would say that isn't, wow, that's embracing an emotion for sure. But one of the things I think is important, and probably one of the most life-changing things I've ever learned through a therapist, was when we're angry, we're actually either sad or scared. So when I get angry now, I can say, I am angry. Like, I get that. And I don't have to honor being angry by screaming and yelling at people. I can just say, oh my gosh, I am really mad right now. And then looking at it and going, okay, why though? Why? Do I feel sad? Do I feel scared? One of the things that's a big button for me is people underestimating me. And I got really upset recently because I felt like somebody was underestimating me. I thought they were rude to me. And it really fires me up. And I have to ask myself, okay, if I'm angry right now, why? Am I sad that somebody doesn't appreciate the hard work I'm doing? I really think that's it, because everything that we do, I work in an animal shelter. My whole being is about improving the lives of animals and people in my community. And so when someone's rude to me around the work I'm doing, that makes me really sad. But sadness is not something that we honor in our society. It's weakness. So we turn to anger because anger is more acceptable. It's far better to be in a public location and show your anger that you're getting upset at something rather than crying. So when people are coming to your intake area and they're really, really mad, and they could be mad about something you don't even know what they're mad about. You're like, I don't even know why you're mad at me. If you can recognize that the mad is probably being sad and approach things differently, you get a more authentic person. And the more that you're able to do that and you're able to relate to people coming into you from recognizing that one simple thing, that their anger is not real, it's based in fear or sadness, you are able to work with them so you get their authentic self. And then magic happens. All of a sudden they open up to you, they become more vulnerable, and you're able to truly help them and reach them at a level that you couldn't before when you were approaching them from the anger standpoint. So be authentic. If you're upset about something, honor it. Understand why. When I say honor it too, it doesn't mean like if you in your head have a racist thought, you're like, oh, I'm going to honor that as a valid thought. I mean, say, oh my gosh, I just had this thought which is inappropriate and I'm going to work through it. Allowing yourself the opportunity to just say that maybe my thoughts don't equal my values or my morals, and then you can say why is that, and be able to work through it. If everyone had the skill to be able to do this world would be a magical, magical place. But each of us have the ability and the power to honor our feelings and to work through them and then better understand why the people around you are reacting the way they are.